So I decided to be a good content creator for once, and I'm bringing it back, everyone. One Piece content is officially back on the channel. As many will know, I started a series a couple years back on the manga, going through each arc section by section. It didn't exactly work out for plenty of reasons, but since then, I've finally gotten caught up, and I decided that since Egghead is getting to be so good in the anime, that it would make sense to start covering the series weekly here. It also must be said, this One Piece content, the One Piece videos I'll be doing on YouTube, aren't exactly the safest content to upload. So due to copyright, I will be learning along the way with my new One Piece journey how to best edit these videos for you to watch. So please do make sure to share some of your suggestions on what you may want to see me edit every week for these videos in the comments below, but initially these will be designed as videos to listen to as to compensate for the lack of imagery due to Toei Animation and their flagrant use of copyright laws against One Piece content creators, such as myself. With that out of the way, let's jump on into One Piece 1142. So the episode starts with Caribou, who is essentially bargaining his life to Van Augur. His plan is to essentially, well, it's very smart actually, use the information that he's gathered throughout the years hiding on the Sunny, which of course is the two secrets he's holding close, that is the information on Poseidon and Pluton. These two weapons that basically everyone is searching for in one way or the other, at least if you're an opportunist. And this was a great piece of payoff for Caribou, who has so far been this like really annoying slimy guy, like literally, in a barrel off to the side just listening. So because of this information, he has the proper ways to bargain himself into a fantastic position, and I think he'll be able to. Poseidon and Pluton, I mean, that's pretty big. And on top of that, he knows that if he is killed at this point, then there will be consequences for those actions, whatever they may be. But to saddle up with Blackbeard, that is a very daring but powerful power play from Caribou, who, as it would surely mean that Blackbeard could use this opportunity to forward his own agenda, because Pluton and Poseidon are like so game-changing for Blackbeard. It's almost hard to comprehend at this point that Blackbeard maybe will be the final villain of One Piece. That is how much of a game changer this could potentially be. So on the flip side, Doberman gives the order to kill Bonnie to stop the Pacifista from decimating their fleet, and doing so regain control of them. Now, this is ironic in some ways, we'll talk about that later, but this is just here to show that the top priority in this Buster call is now to get rid of Bonnie. So something to keep a hold of, but Bonnie and Frankie are caught by Vice Admiral Tosa, that is until the big hype moments happens and he is knocked out by Dory and Broggy. Oh my god. They are back. People who know about my thoughts on One Piece know I actually really love these two giants. One of my dreams is to have a plushie of these two, or like to have like a t-shirt of them. That's how much I love them. And honestly, I totally forgot with the last episode being a special that Dory and Broggy returned, so it was like kind of like all over again getting hyped me and going, oh wait, yeah, they came back last week. This is, or well, I guess 2 weeks ago. This is pretty cool. But yeah, this is clearly a game changer because they are on the side of the Straw Hats, and even more mysterious, they were sent to retrieve the Straw Hats. While I already know why, because I'm a reader of the manga, of course, but I haven't actually read since like the beginning of the next arc, so it's been many months since then. I'm way behind. Put your theories, though, down in the comments below. I'm so excited to read them and see what you guys come up with. Their special specific orders are to get Bonnie, Frankie, which by the way, I gotta say Frankie's VA doesn't hit as much as the originals, but I understand why the original VA had to stand down. It just, I don't know. It may take a minute to get used to. Also, we gotta talk about that scene with the Vice Admirals, specifically Bluegrass and Doll. What I really liked here was what they revealed and what it means. So Doll I can't speak this video. Doll specifically reveals she had once served under Jaguar D-Sol over some 20 years ago, which means that 2 years after the O'Hara incident, Doll would get involved with Sol. That is doing wonders for me to try to say that. Doll Sol. That's very cool, but also shows that Doll is absolutely best girl, and I call dibs, my friends. Also, wow. What was that animation when she was jumping on air? It was just so cool. She's just such a cool character. I want her to smokes, by the way. That was just, ugh. God, she's so cool. And as my friend Carp said, Toei Animation knows exactly what they're doing with Doll. But yeah, what do you think this means for Vice Admiral Doll, who seemingly came under Sol's wing 2 years after the Ohara incident? What do you think? How do you think that connects? Because I'm curious. So this is when Saturn reveals that he can secrete a corrosive venom from his leg, which he uses to attack Luffy. And all the while, Sanji, he is trying his best to save Vegapunk until Adam Sandler, aka Kizaru, you're not going to unsee that one, stops them, and in one of the most brutal moments from Kizaru, he stabs Vegapunk through the body with the Ama no Murakumo. Bro. This was insane. This is why I wanted to start covering the anime, because when I was reading this for the first time in the manga, I was just flabbergasted. Kizaru to me is so cool because he just does all of these evil things because he has to. And even then, I still find myself so drawn to the torment of this character and the sorrow he seems to carry. Him stabbing Vegapunk felt like yet another tormenting moment for him to reckon with. Plus, also, it was... This moment was so well done. As a manga reader, I'm so happy with this. But the consequences of this are immediate, as Luffy goes big fella, as I call it, and grabs onto both Kizaru and Saturn and promises that they will not escape his grasp, and even manages to cause Kizaru to bleed from his mouth, which, have we ever seen that before? I can't remember. Someone let me know. But this was awesome too, and I loved seeing the tiny straw hat on Luffy's back. Something about that, while Vegapunk looking just onward, he's just slowly bleeding out and dying, just, I don't know, it made me laugh way too much. Plus, also, you go Luffy, man. I love it when Luffy has these moments where he sees someone do something bad and he just gets angry and he just cannot forgive them and scorns them. It is just always so satisfying to see. But oh my god, I am so hyped. We finally get the moment I personally have been waiting for so long, which is Vegapunk freaking dying in Sanji's disgusting arms. And this activates the Deadman switch, which is a pre-recorded message of Vegapunk that is going to play and broadcast all over the world, which we know how those messages are usually received in One Piece by now, but he is specifically about to reveal the full truth of the world for everyone to listen to. That's right. Guys, I'm telling you right now, if you're not excited for the next episodes of One Piece, just really the rest of how this arc is going to play out, oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so excited. I'm so ready. Let's just talk about Caribou, because this is really the culmination of his entire arc as this, what is essentially this sleazy information broker. He's just handing these secret weapons, or I guess the secrets of these weapons, to Blackbeard, who is the most opportunistic and would probably plunge the world into war. So I think this is going to be something that pops up in the final bits of One Piece, like the final fights. I think that what Caribou has, it is going to give Blackbeard the ultimate edge, I think, and a lot of people are going to have to overcome Blackbeard. And plus, with his devil fruit power already, it's just already insane. Also, I thought it was really interesting because the Buster Call, if you think about it, the Marines have just been ordered to destroy their own assets, which is the Pacifista, to gain control, because otherwise they can't go to the island. I think this kind of highlights how just the world government, they would rather obliterate their own power than lose control of it. In a way, that also shows their might as a military, but it also shows that, I don't know. There's just something about this idea of them losing control over their own power. I wonder if this is going to play into something that happens later in the next few arcs, if we get there. I mean, the next few arcs, God, that may be for 30 years at this point. There is definitely something between Doll and Saul that we don't know. We haven't seen too much of Doll to get an idea that she would or wouldn't betray the Marines. And why I'm saying this is because I think she may be a potential ally in the future. Because if you think about it, Doll being connected to Saul and working under Saul, that's not nothing. What is Robin gonna do? Like, how is she gonna react to that information? Also, I think whatever Vegapunk is about to reveal in this full truth of the world, I think that will also be important for Doll's character too, but we'll just have to see. So yeah, what do you guys think the nature of the full truth is going to be? What is this truth that Vegapunk will reveal? I'm thinking stuff like the Void Century. I'm thinking like Pluton and the ancient weapons. Also as well, what about Emu? We have to talk about Emu and the world government. Maybe it has something to do with those mysteries. Or does it just have to do with things like devil fruits or, I don't know, I don't know. I think the obvious one people come up with is the Void Century. I think that's probably the most obvious for most people. So are you hyped for 1143? You probably should be. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you want, you can check out more of my One Piece content in the playlist here. If you made it to the end of this video, post some orange hearts. Make it a great day or not, the choice is yours.